Christine Beck, and I'm from West Hartford, Connecticut. So I'm really excited to be here in Austin. I have a daughter who lives in Austin. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think my little Connecticut daughter would end up in Texas. She was a TV reporter. Her first job was in Macon, Georgia, which is where she met the man she married. And then she moved on to Knoxville, Tennessee. And she said to him, Eric, you know, I love you, but I'm never coming back to Macon. And he said, Eleanor, I love you, but I'm never coming to Knoxville. Here we are in Austin, and we're having a baby in June. So I'll be coming back again in June. I'll be spending the month of July, which I'm excited about. And you know, it's kind of like poetry. I know the beginning part, but I don't know what's going to happen next. She thinks she does, but she doesn't. She doesn't. So in her honor, today is her 30th birthday. Oh, and by the way, I have not yet done the 30 and 30 project. I actually just committed to do that today. But I was here about a year ago at a workshop, which is where I met Pamela and Ma, that was being run by Tupelo Press. So that's my connection to Tupelo and to Austin. Although the daughter I told you about went to Kingswood Oxford School in West Hartford, Connecticut, when Jeffrey was the poet in residence. So I don't even know what to say about things like that. Just don't know. So in her honor, I'm going to read from my book, Blinding Light, which is illustrated by an Austin painter, which I didn't know, and my Connecticut editor picked it. I know. It's like, oh, guess you're supposed to be here, Christine. Seismic Shift. She makes our reservations for her college graduation. Of course, she says, when asked if we can handle stairs. At the airport, she pulls up promptly with her car, the daughter who, when she was 5, pleaded with her dad to drive the long way to the airport when I was leaving on a business trip so she could have me for 10 minutes more. We climb the outer stairs. A distant rumble grinds, perhaps the roil of seismic gases underground. Now I recall those moments, standing at a corner, waiting for the light to change. I'd reach down with my hand, extend a finger, she'd grab it up. I didn't need to turn around, my trust in what comes next, solid as a child's. I think of God and Adam, reaching toward each other on the Sistine ceiling. Adam, yearning for some guidance, permission, some ceremonial clasp. But was it God who first held out his hand? God, who needed contact with a mortal's stirring? Was it God who sought the comfort of warm flesh, his need to sense the seismic shift in what he had created, the perfection he had planned? I'm going to read 2 poems that I actually brought to the workshop in Austin, the Tupelo workshop. The first one is called Filled. And it's different now than it was in the workshop, which is what we hope. Filled. I am filled with steam, like an iron left on when everyone has scattered to their tasks, their world of to-do lists bulging in their pockets. And I remain upright, my steam slowly evaporating. No linens to put straight, no sheets to smooth, no ruffles to press out. I am filled with buttons, pearl white, snipped off shirts threadbare at the collar by a neat frugality that imagines uses for 40 small white buttons. Tucks them in a metal box marked Louis Sherry candies. No candy, just buttons. Symbol of the unity of left and right. They clatter as my steam subsides, no useful purpose hovering on their horizon. I am filled with scraps, handwritten snippets, forlorn phrases, interspersed with notes for groceries, ingredients for recipes I'll never try, filled with half-remembered, one-sided conversations. Do you always have to? You are going to love. You'll always be incomplete, wandering words, searching for a verb, a modifier, a way to fill them up. Jeffrey had asked us to write an ode, a 4-page ode. 4 pages. 4 pages. And actually there is utility to keeping going until you surprise yourself, which is something I often recommend to my own students. And I tell them, and it's true, I can always tell when they've surprised themselves. So see if you can tell where I surprised myself. Ode to the avocado. Newborn, its flesh the color of a fledgling leaf in spring. Oh, the riot of clustered avocados, complexions green and mottled, bumpy, skins that would make an adolescent cry. But as they're all alike, no one to flaunt a pale, smooth skin, they're comforting. Their inner yielding, longing to be touched, fingered, gauged by give and wait. Their insides smooth as kitten fur, a satin ribbon, a pearl. This one, yes, this one's perfect. Strange fruit, the avocado, with little scent, less flavor. It tastes of something long forgotten, a first phone number, say, or the slow dance of first love. Chances are, it's not for me to say. Unlike the mango, its brash burst of colored juice that dribbles down your chin, the avocado is sedate, as silken as a mother's breast, fulsome with milk, engorged and plentiful. The avocado sounds like the viola, the sigh of Haydn in Adagio, when Orpheus looks back, sees Eurydice lose her corporality and mist into the miter bin. Fragile when opened, easily bruised, the avocado meets the air and starts to spoil. It must be savored now. No tomorrow for the avocado. Take me now. Slip me in your mouth. Relish me for what I am, just as we are today. And the last one is a relatively new poem. There are some well-known poems referenced in it, and my intention is that it stand alone with or without the knowledge of the other poems. Call and response. Frog, lying belly up on the bottom of the pool, calls up dog, now gone and turned to ash, who calls up cat, who disappeared one day, my 5-year-old sobbing up and down the street, come home, where have you gone? How could you leave like this? So every poem calls up another, one you read or might have read. The red wheelbarrow that calls up the red heads you wore that summer, left on the front step, waiting for the feet that didn't know where they'd go next. Or how about I Love You, Sweetheart, emblazoned on the overpass by the young man who couldn't keep his spray paint to himself. The sweat of lovers called up by his 3rd grade teacher who didn't teach him how to spell. Or the one about the mastectomy. I never had one, but I've lived through one. It calls up that small dish of dead bees hidden by rose petals on the would-be lover's porch. The petals clustered in a vessel too small to hold the missing breast, which calls up the stretch of sewn-up skin, fingers inching upwards on the bedroom wall of an arm whose nodes are gone, a little higher each day, like a bee climbs up a wall. And then the bag of chopped off ears, meant to shock a woman into silence, but what's a bag of chopped off ears in El Salvador compared to one warm breast? A dish of bees, humming their summer song, not knowing they will die, not knowing they'll appear on the front step of a poet's bungalow. Thank you.
So there's actually a delightful synergy between the conferences that Jeffrey hosts, where poets bring work, write work, and work on their work and share their work with one another. And many poets who have been in 33 projects started in a conference or moved to conferences. I think that we often think that writing is done in isolation, is served up without conversation, isn't your own if there's conversation with a mentor or another about it, but it is probably the only art in which that is thought to be true. Every art has their coaches, their mentors, their teachers, their somehow teamwork or unity in which you hear things expressed in different ways that you distract yourself from the work that you have and begin to listen and pay attention to it. That's what Jeffrey has done in his conferences, taught people how to pay attention to what the work is saying to them. And so some of what you're hearing tonight comes from those conferences.